much of sugar.
Michael Patrick Shields is on the air.
Good morning, world.
Is that Michelle Obama throwing the Kona coffee at Barack Obama? If you listen to some of the gossip, it is. She didn't go to the inaugural yesterday. She stayed in Hawaii, and then she did issue a statement since it was Martin Luther King Day. And that was it for her involvement in the inaugural yesterday. And at the same time, Gayle King from CBS Mornings was asking why there weren't more people of color at the swearing-in ceremony. Everybody's got to get their angle, don't they? Rolling Stone is being hit with some less-than-kind comments. You know what their headline was? Convicted felon sworn in as president. People didn't think that was very nice at all. It's Michael Patrick Shields with you, and then Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, they had all the tech guys next to each other, and that means he was next to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, the former TV anchor from Los Angeles, who is going to be his wife. Now, she wore a peekaboo top where you could see her lacy camisole through the cleavage, and Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook got caught, well, peeking, I guess. Looking down. Opportunity makes a thief, it seems to me. We talked earlier how Barron Trump stole the show yesterday and got FaceTime, the youngest son of Donald Trump, how he looks like him and how he was kind of a diplomat. He went over and met the Bidens and so forth. I think that Usha Vance also stole the show yesterday, and her beautiful pink outfit and permanent smile on her face and managing the little kids and everything. It was really super cool. But smiling through, and she better be careful not to outshine Melania, just saying. By the way, Kamala Harris there had to watch Donald Trump get sworn in a brutal ending to her time as vice president. And not only that, Barack Obama and the others sat there as Donald Trump just savaged their time in office and reversed even Mount Denali. Dave Dulio is the director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University, distinguished professor in the political science department, and on our radio stage right now, our AT&T line. Are you going to start referring to it as the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, quite something, Michael Patrick. The day was filled with a little bit of everything yesterday.
There will be no classes at Oakland University today, maybe till Thursday, I understand, because of the weather, by the way. So I appreciate you having this personal session with us right now.
Well, it's nice and cozy inside, so I got all the time in the world for you.
They were smiling through cold teeth there yesterday as George Bush, W. Bush, tried to bounce his way through that without too much. One of the lip readers said that either he said to Barack Obama or Obama said to him when they greeted, they joked, "How do we stop this?"
Well, I think they're just regular citizens now, right? And they had their say on Election Day, and we now have a 47th president who is coming out of the gates like gangbusters. And I'm not sure why anybody is surprised. He said during the campaign exactly what he was going to do, and he started it yesterday with the flurry of executive actions. And I think, frankly, even his approach to the day was indicative of how the next 4 years are going to be very, very different than maybe anything we've seen in the past.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think certainly his approach to the day stands in stark contrast to the last at least couple of years of the Biden administration. You know, I think of the multiple speeches that he gave that were quite different, frankly. His inaugural, the formal speech was calm, confident. He read it straight from the teleprompter. And then, of course, he goes to Capital One Arena and is very, very Trumpian. It's meandering, it's long, it's hyperbolic, it's bombastic, right? I mean, it's really in contrast. And then, of course, the flurry of executive actions and the ones that he signed at the White House. You know, he pretty much did a 30 or 45 minute press conference while he was signing those. And it's been a long time since we had heard from President Biden in that way. So I think it's just going to be a very, very busy public. I think it's going to be very, very busy and public administration.
There would be people who would say from an energy level and a capability level, these were very two different men, and that Joe Biden could never have pulled that off.
Well, I think the evidence speaks for itself, right? I mean, there were many, many days where, especially toward the end of his term, where President Biden did few or no public appearances, at least certainly on the official schedule that is released by the White House every day. And I think Trump is poised to, as I said, be very different from that.
How did you find the day overall? There are people who have a hard time separating the politics from the pageantry of America.
Well, I think that's a really great way to put it. As I said, I think yesterday had a little bit of everything, and it starts with the pomp and circumstance of the inaugural, right? And that's we've only had 60 of them in our history, and it comes with all of that pageantry that you mentioned. I think we also have to acknowledge that it was a historic day where, yes, the person who was sworn in has been convicted of multiple felonies. He's also it's the first time since the 1890s where we have a president who's going to serve 2 terms non-consecutively. And I frankly, it marks what's arguably the greatest political comeback in American history. And you sprinkle in some controversial pardons and 200 executive actions, and boy, it's a full day.
Even outgoing President Biden took some stick from people for telling Donald Trump welcome home when he greeted him at the White House.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why, right? I think that is somebody trying to be a statesman and trying to be magnanimous, and I think that says more about the people that are making those criticisms than it does anything.
But it wasn't very magnanimous of Donald Trump to rip on the previous administration in his speech while they're sitting right there, was it?
Well, again, that's what you get with Donald Trump, right? I mean, Trump is going to be Trump, and get ready for it because you got 4 years of it coming.
Okay, you can get 4 years of education or more if you want at Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, oakland.edu. He's Dave Dulio, the director of the Center of Civic Engagement there. Professor, thank you.